In today's English listening lesson, I will read a story, as always, to help improve your English listening skills, and then discuss the meaning of a few English vocabulary words from today's story. Well, hello, students. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to another episode of Parlay with Jay. Can you believe that the year is almost over and it's time for another new year? Well, let's finish this year off with a bang with a great story that will help improve your English. Today, I have a C-2 English listening practice video, and I want you to use it to practice your listening skills. I hope you're ready for a little bit of learning and laughter. I am calling this story The Haircut. Let's dive into today's story and learn some English. Pedro had always been known for his adventurous sense of style. So it wasn't surprising when he strolled into the barbershop with a picture of a spiky mohawk. The barber, amused by Pedro's bold choice, skillfully shaved the sides of his head, leaving a dramatic strip of hair running down the middle. When Pedro returned home, his parents saw his haircut and had an expression which froze and can be described as a mix of horror and disbelief as they stared at his new look. "Is this your idea of a joke?" his father asked, his tone dripping with sarcasm. Pedro, trying to defend his choice, explained that it was an artistic statement of his individuality. His mother wasn't convinced and declared, "If you want to look like a chicken, you'd better prepare to pluck the rest of the evening." Embarrassed but determined to save face, Pedro wore a hat to dinner that night, only for his brother to snatch it off, revealing the mohawk to his other visiting relatives. The next day, Pedro was dragged back to the barbershop, where the barber reluctantly shaved his head completely bald under his mother's strict supervision. As Pedro stepped outside, he noticed his reflection in a store window and thought he looked oddly distinguished without any hair. Though he missed his rebellious hairstyle, Pedro learned that some battles aren't worth the effort, especially when his mother and father wield the ultimate authority. I can remember when I was a teenager and I got my first hairstyle that my parents did not agree with. I had my hair as high as an eraser would be on a pencil. It was called a high top fade, and my hair, I know it was all of 6 inches high from my head. Oh, the girls loved my new hairstyle, but my father could not stand it. Now, unlike Pedro's mother, my mother allowed me to express myself, and eventually I grew out of that phase. But I get it. Oftentimes, many parents want their kids to look distinguished or to look different and not to follow the crowd. And I can just remember those times in my life. and they were quite funny. And when I had kids, of course, my sons wanted to have different types of hairstyles that I did not agree with. And I did set boundaries and didn't let them do anything, because nowadays, some of the hairstyles that young people have, in my opinion, are very outrageous. But nevertheless, we've all been young before. Let's go through a few vocabulary words from today's story. And if you want this story and my other notes and vocabulary words and definitions, there's a link in the description that you can follow, and you can get those and have access to asking me personal questions about English when you follow that link in the description. Excuse me. Okay, a mohawk. So a mohawk is a hairstyle where the sides are shaved, leaving a strip of hair in the middle. I've never liked the mohawk, especially as my personal preference, but it's a very popular hairstyle. Some people put color in it, they spike it, they make it look very, very unique to their taste. Another word that we find is dramatic, which means striking in appearance or effect. Sometimes something that is dramatic is quite impressive. So when Pedro's parents and siblings and relatives saw his mohawk hairstyle, they thought it was dramatic or very unique and striking in appearance. Sarcasm is when Pedro's father asked Pedro, "Is this your idea of a joke?" So when a person uses sarcasm, they are talking or trying to communicate irony, or they're trying to mock a particular person. So Pedro's father was simply expressing to Pedro, "Are you serious? Did you not just walk into my home with a mohawk?" So he was being sarcastic, or we call that sarcasm. Now, Pedro told his parents he wanted to express his artistic statement of individuality, or an easier way to say that, his uniqueness. So a statement is a clear expression of an idea or opinion. So a statement, something that you say. So if I were to say, "I'm going to bed," that's my statement. That's a clear expression of what I am going to do. Now, Pedro put a baseball cap on his head and his brother snatched it off. So to snatch means to grab something quickly or suddenly. Snatch. Now, snack sounds like snatch, but a snack can be defined as simple refreshments like cookies or potato chips, peanuts, or popcorn or raisins. That's a snack. But to snatch something is to grab it quickly. So you might say, "Why did you snatch the money out of my hand?" Okay. Supervision, the act of overseeing someone or directing an activity. So parents supervise their children. And so when you have a parent that is constantly in their child's life, we call that good supervision. And one more word, authority. Okay, the power or right to give orders or make demands or decisions. So Pedro, mother and father had the authority to tell him to change his hairstyle. That's why they shaved it bald. They have the authority over him. We consider parents to be authority figures. Okay. So these are just a few words that I have from the list from today's story. I have a few more that you can go over in the notes, but I wanted to talk about just a few to help you understand a little bit more. So I reviewed Mohawk, dramatic, sarcasm, statement, snatch, supervision, and authority. And like I said, if you want these notes, they are available. Just use the link in the description. And if you want to study my longer English lessons, be sure to use the playlist. Also, there is a link in the description. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode and I have helped you improve your English in some sort of way. As always, if you know someone that is trying to improve their English, share this lesson with them. And I hope you join me when I have my next English lesson.